Does he have a salary cap hit? No, he makes about $500,000, which is about 70 times less than your backup quarterback. Okay. Does he have a record? No, he does have a record.
From his undeniable talent to his magnetic pull to the fact that Shedeur's jersey, the one with the name of the black quarterback who's defying expectations, is currently the #1 selling jersey among all rookies, even outranking higher draft picks. So that popularity, that organic connection with fans probably stings more than any stat line, because when you're taught that you're inherently superior, another's authentic success feels like a personal affront. It's not about the game. It's about the perceived order of things being disrupted.
Jimmy Haslam just pulled off something we've never seen in NFL history. We're talking about a 5th-round draft pick generating a $1 billion empire. And no, that's not exaggeration. These are hard numbers. Shedeur Sanders isn't just producing on Sundays. He's obliterating every business record the NFL tracks. Jersey sales, #1 worldwide. Google searches, top 3 on the planet. Fan engagement, completely off the charts. People in Dubai, Ghana, and the Philippines are snatching up #12 Browns jerseys like they're gold. Here's what's making NFL owners take notice. Jimmy Haslam, a billionaire who knows how to build empires, just realized he's holding the most valuable marketing asset in professional football. And he got it for almost nothing. While other franchises are gambling first-round capital and guaranteed money on unproven quarterbacks, Haslam landed a global phenomenon in the 5th round. The numbers tell an incredible story. We're about to show you how one rookie quarterback is positioned to make his owner richer than Jerry Jones could have dreamed. And the evidence has been right in front of us the whole time, if you knew what to watch for.
Jimmy Haslam met with reporters yesterday, and the issue came up again of the decision to use the 144th pick in the draft in round 5 on Shedeur Sanders after they had drafted Dillon Gabriel the day before in round 3. Here's Haslam on that issue.
We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation.
Let's kick this off with something that'll grab your attention. You know Chase Daniel, former NFL quarterback, current analyst, not exactly the type to chase narratives or buy into hype. Even he had to speak out about what he was witnessing. Here's Daniel's exact words. "I just think that the Browns in general just didn't really help him out a lot. His pinky was really bugging him, and I just think he played pretty well for the time being." Why does this matter? Because when analysts who have zero incentive to promote Shedeur, guys with no ties to Colorado, no connection to Coach Prime, when they start speaking up unprompted, you know something real is happening. Chase even pulled up film showing Shedeur making the exact same blocks that earned Drake May endless praise, the identical play. But when Drake May makes that block, it's called leadership and toughness. When Shedeur makes it, crickets. The media pretends it didn't happen. But here's where it gets fascinating. While the media was working overtime to minimize what Shedeur was doing on the field, Jimmy Haslam was playing an entirely different game. He was tracking hard data, jersey sales, Google Trends, ticket demand, PSL applications for that brand new stadium opening in 2029. What did those numbers reveal? Massive profit potential, undeniable profit potential. Let's talk real business, not projections or speculation, cold facts. Shedeur Sanders makes approximately $500,000 per year on his 5th-round rookie contract. The Browns are paying Deshaun Watson $80 million guaranteed. That's 160 times what Shedeur earns. Now, Mary Kay Cabot, the most plugged-in Browns insider in the business, just confirmed Deshaun Watson isn't going anywhere in 2026. The cap hit is too massive. Cut him, you absorb $80 million. Trade him, you still eat most of that contract. Watson's staying put. He'll be the bridge quarterback, the veteran presence, whatever the team needs.
I just think that the Browns in general just didn't really help him out a lot. And I'm going to get to a lot of different plays, and I just think he...
What? What'd you say? What'd you say? You said the Browns weren't helping him out a lot.
Really bugging him. I just think that the Browns in general just didn't really help him out a lot. And I'm going to get to a lot of different plays, and I just think he played pretty well for the time being. And when you do that, and when you have certain things that you need to get to play.
But here's the brilliant chess move Jimmy Haslam already executed. He's carrying 3 quarterbacks under contract. Deshaun Watson serves as the expensive veteran insurance. Dylan Gabriel is a developmental third-string option who handles scout team reps. And Shedeur Sanders is the future franchise quarterback, earning pocket change compared to his actual value. Think about this from pure business strategy. You're Jimmy Haslam. You want to build the next Cowboys-level brand, right? You want global recognition. You want worldwide reach. You want people on different continents buying your merchandise. How do you get there? You could draft Jalen Milroe or Quinn Ewers and hope they transform into stars. Or you roll with the guy who's already a worldwide icon, the guy already sitting top 3 in global Google searches, the guy whose jersey is already outselling every player in the league, the guy who has Hall of Fame NBA players like Dwayne Wade getting visibly emotional talking about him. Yeah, let's address that Dwayne Wade moment because it matters. Dwayne Wade, 3-time NBA champion, finals MVP, personal friends with LeBron James, went on camera and said this about Shedeur. I love when he's in those press conferences. I love how he handles himself. I love how he stands up for herself. I love how he don't throw nobody under the bus. I love how he's a leader. The analyst making this observation said something critical. This is a Hall of Fame basketball player. Him and D. Wade and LeBron are best friends. I had never heard him say that about LeBron. I had never heard him get that emotional about LeBron James.
Ignore what he said at the end. Pay attention to what he said before that.
Yeah.
It's one thing if the GM has the absolute call and he walks into the room and it's time to make the pick at 144 and he says...
There's no meeting and we
and
just say, I want this guy.
2 meetings.
Right.
What do you think the meetings were about? Consider the context. What were they meeting about? What they're going to do with the round 7 pick? No. They had a couple of meetings to talk about what they're going to do. And my guess is the first meeting was before round 4 and the second meeting was after round 4.
Yeah.
What are we going to do if he's there when we pick at 140?
Let that register for a second. A man who won championships playing alongside LeBron James is showing more emotion discussing Shedeur Sanders than his own championship teammate. Why? Because this goes beyond sports. This is about representation. This is about watching a young black quarterback handle adversity with class, refusing to blame his coaches publicly even when the situation wasn't ideal, and still delivering when his number was called. You think Jimmy Haslam doesn't recognize that? You think he doesn't see the business value of having America's most beloved young athlete wearing his uniform? He absolutely does. Here's where this becomes absolutely extraordinary. There's documented video footage of people around the world having overwhelming emotional reactions to Shedeur Sanders jerseys. We're not discussing standard fan excitement. We're talking about grown men getting genuinely emotional, kids creating songs about him, people in countries without established football leagues buying Browns merchandise. One person literally said, "I got the new Cleveland," like Shedeur Sanders rebuilt the franchise identity overnight. Another person, an older gentleman who clearly works a regular job, became so emotional receiving a Shedeur jersey that people questioned if Coach Prime's marketing team staged it. But it wasn't staged. It's completely authentic, and it's happening everywhere. Memphis, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Charlotte, North Carolina. But it doesn't stop domestically. The Netherlands, Philippines, Iceland, London, Ireland, Brazil, Mexico City, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Dubai, Jamaica, Germany, China. The analyst breaking this down nailed it. This is some Elvis stuff. This is some Michael Jackson stuff. This is some Beyonce stuff. These are grown people with jobs, with 9-to-5s, acting like they just met their hero. And he's absolutely correct. When's the last time you saw people react like this to Trevor Lawrence, to Baker Mayfield, to even Lamar Jackson, arguably one of the most electrifying quarterbacks of this generation? Nobody was losing sleep over a Lamar jersey. Nobody was crying on camera. But Shedeur? That's an entirely different stratosphere. Now let's get back to Jimmy Haslam's business calculations, because this is where everything connects. The Browns have a brand new stadium opening in 2029. You know how stadiums generate serious revenue? PSLs, personal seat licenses. Wealthy fans pay 6 figures just for the right to purchase season tickets. And you know what drives PSL sales? Star power. Winning helps, absolutely, but star power, that's what keeps seats filled year after year.
Think about it like this. A guy who has already broke some records. He just so happens to be, he just happens to be one of the most famous people in the entire world. And he just threw for 360 yards and you saw it with your own two eyes. He just so happens to be sold the most jerseys of all time. And he's a 5th round pick and he's cheap.
Does Jalen Milroe sell out a 100,000-seat stadium? Does Quinn Ewers? Does any other quarterback prospect in this draft class possess even a fraction of Shedeur's worldwide appeal? The answer is no, and Jimmy Haslam knows it. Here's the math. Shedeur costs $500,000 per year on his rookie deal. That's $2 million total. For that investment, you get #1 jersey sales in the NFL, top 3 global Google searches, viral social media moments generating billions of impressions, a fan base stretching from Cleveland to Dubai, celebrity endorsements from NBA legends, rappers, and actors, a quarterback who can actually play, 360-plus yards in a game, multiple 300-yard performances, record-breaking statistics. Now compare that to drafting a quarterback in the first round. That's going to cost you $30 to $40 million guaranteed, minimum. And there's zero guarantee they'll outperform Shedeur, zero guarantee they'll match his marketability, zero guarantee they'll move merchandise. The insider analyzing this said it perfectly. I got cheap labor, I got a product the entire world can't get enough of, and I have him under control at a cheap rate for 4 years. Why would I trade, cut, or get rid of a person like that? The answer is you wouldn't if you're not thinking like a businessman. Now, some of you are thinking, but what about Deshaun Watson? What about all that guaranteed money? Here's the reality. Mary Kay Cabot already confirmed Watson's staying in 2026. The cap hit is too devastating to cut or trade him. But you know what? That's actually ideal for the Browns.
I was playing golf. They met this afternoon. I was having lunch. They've spent the time talking about it. This is what they decided to do, and I trust them to make the right decision. That's what I want to hear an owner say.
Yeah,
That's what any fan should want their owner to say.
That's what the good owners are doing. But as we know, and from many stories from many people, the owners do get involved. They say things, whether it's about the coaching the football team or picking the.
Think about it strategically. Watson becomes the veteran insurance policy. If Shedeur needs a week off to heal that pinky injury, Watson can start. If the Browns want to bring Shedeur along gradually in a tough road game, Watson's there. It's the identical strategy the Packers used with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. The same approach the Chiefs used with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. And you know what the analyst pointed out? Watson and Shedeur have a solid relationship. No conflict, no drama. Deshaun was on the sideline coaching Shedeur during games. They showed genuine mutual respect. Why? Because they're both young black quarterbacks who dealt with media criticism, unfair scrutiny, and people rooting for them to fail. They understand each other's journey. So you've got an $80 million backup who can actually mentor your franchise quarterback. You've got Dylan Gabriel as a serviceable third option, and you've got Shedeur Sanders as your billion-dollar asset on a discount contract. That's not just smart, that's genius-level roster construction. But here's where we address the elephant in the room, the criticism, because plenty of people don't want this to succeed. The media spent months attempting to tear Shedeur down. He can't play in the NFL, he's not ready, his pinky injury is a red flag, the Browns should draft Jalen Milroe. All that noise was designed to make you question what you were seeing with your own eyes. But Chase Daniel, again, a guy with zero incentive to defend Shedeur, watched the film and said the Browns didn't help him out and he still played pretty well. That's code for this kid is working against the system and still performing. And you know what happens when the truth starts breaking through? The narrative shifts. Suddenly, it's not about whether Shedeur can play, it's about whether the Browns will commit to him or draft someone new. It's about manufacturing doubt where none should exist. But Jimmy Haslam isn't naive. He sees the jersey sales. He sees the worldwide fan base. He sees the viral moments. He sees Dwayne Wade getting emotional discussing Shedeur's leadership. He sees Coach Prime comfortable on the sidelines at Browns games, bringing his girlfriend, greeting ownership. You think Prime would be that comfortable if there was any uncertainty about Shedeur's future in Cleveland?
Denver's in the building. Dallas is in the building. New Jersey's in the building. Germany is in the building. Galveston, Texas is in the building. Parma, Ohio is in the building. Minnesota, shout out to the great Prince, Purple Rain, Greenwood, South Carolina, in the building. What? Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Jamaica, Kingston, Utah, Elliott City, Ellicott City, Maryland.
Here's what people don't fully grasp. This isn't just about football anymore. It's about representation. It's about culture. It's about a young black quarterback who refused to be broken by a system that wasn't designed for his success. When Shedeur stands at that podium after games and refuses to blame his coaches publicly, even when they gave him incorrect plays in his wristband, that's leadership. When he takes accountability for interceptions that weren't his fault, that's maturity. When he arrives early, stays late, and earns the respect of veterans like Deshaun Watson, that's work ethic. And the world recognizes it. From Memphis to Miami, from London to Lagos, from Dallas to Dubai, people see themselves in Shedeur. They see someone who was told he wasn't good enough, who dropped to the 5th round, who got benched for Dylan Gabriel despite being superior, and who still rose when given the opportunity. That's the American dream. That's the underdog story everyone loves. And Jimmy Haslam is smart enough to capitalize on it. So here's what it all comes down to. Jimmy Haslam can either A, draft Jalen Milroe or Quinn Ewers, pay them $30 to $40 million guaranteed, hope they develop into stars, and hope they generate even a fraction of Shedeur's marketability, or B, ride with the guy who's already a global icon, who's already shattering jersey sales records, who's already throwing for 360 yards in NFL games, and who costs $500,000 a year. Which would you choose if you were a billionaire building the next Cowboys-level brand? The answer is obvious. And that's why insiders believe Shedeur Sanders has already been locked in as the 2026 starting quarterback. The decisions made, the signs are unmistakable. Jimmy Haslam saw the billion-dollar potential and seized it. Now let's project to 2029. The Browns' new stadium opens. Shedeur Sanders is in year 4 of his rookie deal, performing at an all-pro level. The stadium is sold out years in advance because of PSL sales. Browns games are must-watch television globally because of Shedeur's star power. Merchandise sales are exploding. Sponsorship deals are pouring in. And Jimmy Haslam? He's the new Jerry Jones, the owner everyone discusses, the man who built a billion-dollar empire around a 5th-round pick. Meanwhile, Jalen Milroe is competing for a backup job somewhere. Quinn Ewers is out of the league, and all those media talking heads who doubted Shedeur, they're scrambling to revise their takes, pretending they supported him from the beginning. That's how this story ends, with Shedeur proving everyone wrong, Cleveland becoming the new America's team, and Jimmy Haslam counting his billions. Look, I understand. Some of you still have doubts. Some of you think I'm overstating this, but I'm giving you the facts. Jersey sales don't lie. Google trends don't lie. Viral videos of people across the globe getting emotional over number 12 Browns jerseys don't lie. Shedeur Sanders is the real deal, on the field and off. And Jimmy Haslam, love him or hate him, just made the smartest business move of his career by recognizing it early. So the question isn't whether Shedeur will be the Browns' franchise quarterback in 2026. The question is, how much money is Jimmy Haslam about to make off this phenomenon? And based on everything we're witnessing, we're talking billions. The movement is global. The phenomenon is real. And the Browns just became the most fascinating franchise in football. If you think I'm wrong, drop a comment and tell me why. But if you see what I'm seeing, if you understand the business side of this, then hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. This story is about to get wild and you don't want to miss a second of it. Let's get it.